Hey there everybody, welcome out into the yard. It is a pleasant evening. I got Shocks out there. She's asked if she can use the lawnmower, so I'm not exactly going to tell her no, you know. But I did remember to bring out my sheet where I wrote down all the peppers today, so I thought we'd take a look at the pepper patch. I've got another hole to fill in here, so I'm bringing in a freak pepper for that, but I figured we'd take a look, see how everything's doing. I've actually got a surprising number of pods forming on these little tiny pepper plants. So one by one, and yeah, with their proper names this time. Let's take a look first at what I did initially, what's happened, and then we'll look at where we're at. Yeah, bear with me, we'll get there. So we can take sort of a look here at what I initially planted, and then I can tell you this died, this died, this died. Let's see, 3 in, that died, that died, that died, that died, that died, that died, and that died. So what I did here is I planted in a fatale from the shrine. I've got some orange habaneros there, and there, and there. Basically, I filled in some spots with orange habaneros, except for this one here that we're putting in one of the freak peppers generation 2. Oh, my bad. This actually still is a St. Thomas Bane. This is the orange habanero. So yeah, we've had a lot of players taken out in the middle of this, a lot of replacements put in here, so that kind of explains why some of these peppers look so small compared to others, but at the same time it doesn't explain why some of them are like 3 inches tall and already have fruit on them. So gardening in soil is interesting. I'm still getting used to it. So in the world of replacements, where there used to be a Black Beauty eggplant, we now have this sage that I started upstairs. We've trimmed this back quite a few times, and this is doing really, really well, so very pleased with that. And then we've got the Black Beauty eggplant that survived, but I don't know how well it's doing at this point. We'll just have to see about that. Now, looking at the actual peppers. This one here is known as Those Darn Good peppers. It was Tracy Holtz, I believe, from Texas who sent me these. And as you can see, one is doing better than the other. Obviously no fruit on that one yet. But we do have, looking at this one in the back, now focus, little camera, work with me. Focus. But looking at the one in the back, if we look carefully, we can see the beginning of a flower on that. So hopefully I'll get to find out what those darn good peppers look and taste like. Next to that, we have our row of St. Thomas Bane peppers that has been reduced to just 2. And you know, the one in the front, again, not doing as well as the one in the back. And the one in the back isn't doing terribly well either. I don't see any flowers on there or any fruits yet. Pods, I guess, pepper pods. But all things in time, so let's take a look at the next row. Next, we've got one of the pop bottle orange habaneros that was filling up a place left by a sweet heat pepper. And then above it here, we've got a sweet heat. Let's see, do we see any fruit starts on this tiny little plant? Not really. Might be some flower starts in there, but this is a very stunted little plant. Behind it, also a sweet heat crawling in here. You can see there's pepper start there, got a little pepper start behind it. Lots of flowers on this particular plant, but I'm curious to know where these peppers think they're going to grow, because at maturity they're almost as big as this plant. So I haven't quite decided if I should leave them on there because, you know, any pepper is better than no pepper, or take them off of there because maybe new ones will form on the top. It's definitely trying, you know, like I say, there's flowers everywhere on this thing. Alright, next row. Again, this row starts with one of our replacement pop bottle habaneros. Not doing terribly well, but you know, we shall see. And then, just behind that, we have the best looking sweet heat from this garden. And as you can see, there's peppers on it there, a little pepper on it there, flowers on it there. If we go around the back, there are a couple little peppers on it there as well. So again, it's a matter of, I don't know where this little plant thinks it's going to put those peppers. But happy to see them. Not quite sure if I should leave them, but happy to see them. Behind that there, we have the red Thai chili. I just found out watching some Clifton Chili Club videos, apparently this pepper ranks in at 350,000 Scoville heat units. So they're hotter than I thought. But at any rate, we do have some flower starts on here. I don't see any pepper pods yet. I do, however, see some yellowing leaves, so I'm going to have to go through here with some scissors, clean that up a little bit. Looks like that pod there has aborted. Not going to make it, not going to make it. But, you know, I topped this plant when I brought it out. Seems to be surviving that well. Next row. Like so many of them, this row starts with pop bottle orange habanero. Not really doing all that well yet. You can tell compared to the pen, it's not exactly a huge plant, is it? Behind it, we have some sweet banana peppers. Now this one is doing quite well. Sweet bananas are usually a pretty productive pepper if they get going. And I can see plenty of flowers and some fruit starts, some pod starts down at the bottom here. At least this plant looks tall enough to actually support the pepper when it grows. So that's kind of exciting. I do love these grilled or quickly charred over a campfire. Behind that we have that little tiny stick. That was also a sweet banana pepper, no longer with us. So starting this next row we have a serrano pepper. This one's actually doing much better than the one in the front yard garden. Much larger. Still not seeing any flowers or fruit growth on there. But the plant itself is not looking too bad. What do we have behind that? We have a Scotch bonnet. Now this one is not doing fantastic. It's just the opposite of the case with the serrano. The one out front is really rocking it out with growth, whereas this one is just really not. I see no flowers, I see no fruit starts. That's a nice little green plant, but that's about all we got going there. And behind that we have Nepalese bell. Apparently the two Nepalese bells side by side here that I put in this garden both survived, so that's nice. And I'm starting to see flowers on the top of at least one of them. So that is excellent news. Starting to see flowers on the one out front as well, so might actually get to try those, if not from one source, then from another. So for this next row, this started off as a Golden Cal Wonder, but didn't make it, so it got replaced with a, say it along with me, orange habanero from the pop bottle. That's right, you guessed it. Behind that, we have the Hungarian yellow wax pepper that has apparently got at least one pod on it, and it looks like there are quite a few flower starts on there, maybe a dozen if I really poked around. I don't want to disturb the plant too much, but at least one pod started on there, and yeah, quite a few flowers. So that's excellent. This will be a nice one to have at the end of the season. Is that an ant crawling all over there? You better not be farming aphids, buddy. Anyway, behind that we have the other Nepalese bell. Just kind of saw that a second ago. Up front in the next row, this is a new variety that I picked up when we got into town here from, I believe it's Lindenberg Seeds. It's kind of a fairly local company. This is the garden salsa pepper. It's got a little tiny pepper on it there, got a little tiny pepper on it there. I think the leaves are in the way to show that though. Come on. Right there. And a few flower starts on it, so I'll get a chance to find out what this pepper tastes like this season. That's good, that's good. And behind that we have a fatale. A sad looking little fatale. Not doing all that great. That's the fatale from the shrine. Beside and behind it does look like it might be forming a couple of flowers, maybe a pod on there. Hard to tell from this angle, but I think that could just be hope playing games with me there. But it would be nice to get a pod off of at least one of those fatale plants before it's all said and done. And then this guy here is the ancho pepper. Again, I have another one of these out front. Seems to be doing much better. Peppers really seem to dig that front yard location, but they do get just a little bit more sun there. Seem to have a few flower starts on here. Don't see a proper pod started yet, but that's alright, as I do have a nice big pod on the one out front. And finishing the pepper patch we have another replacement orange habanero from the pot bottle, because the Alipu that was there, past tense, was there, he died. A lot of tragedies this year, but a lot of learning. So there we go. There is a step-by-step look at the pepper patch. Over there I have a little pepper transplant to put in. It's been hardening off for the last few days. Fill an empty spot in those darn good peppers. Stick in one of the freaks. Alright. And that is where I'm going to wrap up this quick look at the pepper patch today, now that I actually found my notes so I know what exactly is growing. I figured I'd share that with you guys for, well, those of you who are interested. And yeah, that's where I'm wrapping it up. So I will say thank you very much for joining me this evening for this quick little update on the pepper patch. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day ahead of you, and I will see you Sunday for the updates on the garden. Bye.